Hi IndyCar fans, it is May 24th, 2017, 4 days to go till the 101st running of the Indianapolis 500, and to think today marks 25 years since the closest finish in Indy history between Al Unser Jr. and Scott Goodyear, with Al Sr. finishing a distant third, putting Scott in a Unser sandwich. So in 4 days' time, we will see who'll be drinking this. The Victor's Drink of Indianapolis. So with Scott Dixon on pole, it just goes to show Ganassi's a real chip off the old block, even if he did lose Target sponsorship but gained Camping World in its place. Everything's could be a little fuzzy in the race, but the tensions aren't. But Ed Carpenter with Fuzzy's vodka is sharp as a tack to start second. And I'm sure that Alexander Rossi has the right tools with Napa starting third. And Sato, everybody's favorite rising star from Japan, is starting fourth. Fifth, everyone's favorite Spaniard and the third in Indy history to race, Fernando Alonso, starts fifth. And I'm pretty psyched, dressed in orange on behalf of McLaren's return to Indy with the collaboration of Andretti. And of course, Ed's teammate, J.R. Hildebrand, starts sixth. And that's the top two rows of the Indy 500. So how about it? It's a shame that Bourdais had that accident during qualifying. Boy, if it weren't for that, who knows? He might have won the pole, considering up until that crash, his run was on a rail like James Hinchcliffe last year. So James Davison of Australia starts last in Bourdais' car. It's a shame Bourdais out for the count for the year, but hopefully he'll recover soon enough to race next year for Dale Coyne. So, 4 days to go, and to think Will Power may have made the Fast 9 alright, even though the Aussie didn't qualify on pole. We'll see what happens. And of course, my thoughts are with Nicky Hayden and his family at this time. It's a shame about that accident of his. Even if I'm no motorcycle fan, this was news I couldn't avoid reading about. But then, of course, the same could be said with Roger Moore in the world of movies and such, and James Bond. So, IndyCar fans and Bond fans combined, this is a shocker indeed to what happened yesterday. So, with him died of cancer, Ryan Hunter-Reay, with you being a spokesman in the fight against cancer, I'm sure you have an added reason to win the Indy 500 if you can do it. Go for it, man. But I also cheer on Fernando Alonso, because if he wins, I'll be celebrating by dancing to the Macarena. So too if it's Oriole, but the difference is, Oriole, if you win, I'll be celebrating by having Oriole cookies and milk to go with it. Do people think that Fernando Alonso has what it takes to win? I'm sure Tony Jr. and Gary would be betting their houses on it. Of course, Marco Andretti, I'm sure this is your year to come out on top. And when you do, oh boy, you're going to love my reaction to it. You'll see it, Marco, when you cross the yard of bricks first on the final lap. And speaking of drivers in orange cars being victorious at Indianapolis, to think 10 years ago marked Dario's first of 3 Indy wins. And since this year marks the 25th anniversary of Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, I like to think that while Dario may not have been singing Cool Jerk to himself as he crossed the start-finish line at the end from a rain-shortened race, it was true, he was taking a shower inside his car as he did it. And of course, I'll bet he was thinking to himself as he crossed the line first at last, he thought to himself, "Oh, you're cooking, Frankie!" Thank you, Uncle Frank, for that little joke from Home Alone 2. And Dario, I hope you like that joke too, because that's you, man. With your former teammate and friend, Dixon, taking the pole, We know for a fact that the Indy 500 starting field this year is anything but scot-free. So when all is said and done, we'll see who comes out on top at the Indianapolis 500 when the green flag flies. And it'll be time soon enough, Paul, to turn another page in racing history. I wish he'd come back for IndyCar TV coverage commentation. Oh well, can't win them all. Still, good luck to all. In my opinion, mostly the Andretti boys. Mostly Marco and Fernando if I had to choose. And we'll see where the Indianapolis 500 of 2017 hails. Well, as any IndyCar fan, it's time to start packing for the great race and prepare for the journey to this mecca of car racing. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.